Hi, I am Dr. Helen, founder and chief engagement officer of Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, and your host for Dr. Helen Speaks: Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. Welcome. I am so excited to be here today. It's Women's History Month. Woohoo! Yes, I love it. Uh, I I love it. It's Women's History Month every March. And today in Women's History Month is the launch of Dr. Helen Speaks on LinkedIn Live. A couple of months ago, I shared in a post about my dreams of one day being a talk show host many, many years ago. And after sharing with a few influential people in my life, like my mother, I was quickly discouraged and decided to pursue something else. Well, as life would have it, I am coming full circle into living life, pursuing my passion and purpose to help leaders, executives, entrepreneurs, and emerging to become their best selves ever. So I work with leaders to learn helping them to learn, leaders like you, helping you to learn how to leverage your strengths, the best of who you are. Understand and manage your weaknesses. Now, don't take affront to that. We all have weaknesses. Yeah, we all have them. What I like to do is not focus on the weaknesses, but to help leaders identify them, understand them, and manage them, and build resilience. Truth be told, the higher up in life you move, and as leaders, that is the intention, that you want to move higher and higher to some level of success that you know better than anyone else. Well, building resilience helps to ensure that you keep moving forward. The results of doing this is that you're going to recognize an increase in your performance, your productivity, and your prosperity potential. You know, profits. The bottom line is very real. And that's why I love LinkedIn, because it helps people to, it helps you keep that focus on business, life pursuits, um, the things that are going to impact what it is that you do. I love it. It's my favorite social media platform. So, who is Dr. Helen? Dr. Helen is a strengths, resilience, and leadership coach, trainer, speaker, and award winning author. And I take a stand for leaders like you who show up in places like LinkedIn because you want more for your leadership and more for your life. Now, yes, I am a woman, she, her, those are my pronouns. And as a woman, I love working with women. Now, I work with a lot of men too, but I just love working with women. So, launching LinkedIn Live during Women's History Month was a big deal for me. This goes in the category of being a woman change maker. Yeah, because I do help people change and transform their lives through coaching and training and all those good things. And I love it. So on this big deal of a day for me, I am I'm inviting you to join me as we explore ways, tips, techniques, trials and errors to move you closer to living your best life ever. Absolutely, living your best life ever. I'm living mine, and I want that for you too. So, as your host, coach, and convener of leaders, we'll talk about how you can maximize and optimize your leadership. Now, I want to start off with this question. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? Hmm. Give some thought to that. After years of learning failing, giving up, and starting over, I realized that when you stick with what you believe and know is truly your life purpose, success will happen. Delay does not mean denied, as for many years I believed that. And on this journey of life, it's inevitable that you'll hit highs and lows. Think of it like the stock market. As long as you're invested doing the work, your investment will keep growing and growing and growing. Now, there are times like the stock market, it'll dip, but if you stay invested, it will come back and keep growing and growing. But that also means that maybe you'll be tweaking it along the way. Maybe you'll um, shift your strategy of how you want to live into your success. There are many ways that you can go about being the best of who you are, living your best life ever. The goal of Dr. Helen Speaks is to motivate and inspire you and give you real life examples for you to take with you along your success journey. So stick with it. We want to help you to stick with what you believe in your heart of hearts is your calling, your purpose, and your passion in this life. Because we want you to be open to receive it and achieve it on your terms, better your terms than anyone else's. In a training, I once heard one of the facilitators ask the question, whose script are you living? And it was such a profound statement for me at that time. I really took some time to reflect on it and think about it. How much of what I'm doing is about me and what I want? And how much am I doing and fulfilling other people's agendas? Whose script are you following? One of the things that we'll do here on Dr. Helen Speaks is we'll share with you the wisdom of lessons learned, lived experiences, and earned expertise from leaders like you. I love this platform because it's an opportunity to double down on who you are and what's important to you, but also to get ideas and connections and alliances with others to help you move your success higher and higher and higher. Yeah. We're here to ignite your spark or fuel your flame to think, do, and be what you most envision or dream for your life. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? I do, and I love it. Oh my goodness. I when it happened, it was like, I really like what I do. And even in this pandemic, when people were poo pooing or just really not into what was happening, I was like, yeah, I'm finding my groove here. I love what I do. And I'm showing up here because I want that for you. So this is my opportunity to pay it forward through you. It's Women's History Month. And I want to look at some of the women history makers to celebrate that have made a permanent impression on my life. And even whether you're catching this live or you're listening to it later, catching it on my feed or replay or something, I'm not sure all this social media stuff is really, really taking me to new levels of learning. Let me get back to the task at hand. I want to I want to lift up some women leaders that have been first, that have made a mark on this world, whether it was locally, statewide, nationally, or globally. They all matter and have significance. So as you think about the women who you want to celebrate this month, let it go beyond the thoughts in your mind. Send a note, give a shout out, tag them on social media, talk about them, share it. I want to begin with the first history maker, who's a family relative, Dr. Norma Goodwin. May she rest in peace. She was a casualty of COVID back in 2020. I want to lift her up because she was a woman that I grew up with throughout life who was a first in many ways. She was a Black woman, the first Black person that integrated Virginia Medical College in the 50s. And our family paid a price for that because she said yes to the opportunity, becoming a trailblazer and doing what had not been done before, a history maker. And I'm originally from Virginia, and my family really ended up migrating from Virginia because of her choice to lead, to pursue her dreams and her passion. My family was blackballed. It was Jim Crow of the South. And she did go on to graduate from Virginia Medical College. She couldn't live in their dorms. She tutored many of her classmates who weren't making the cut. And she went on to be an influential physician, later becoming vice president of the city hospitals in New York, and then leaving that to um, start her own nonprofit called Health Watch, where she helped to improve the health of many people living in the Bed-Stuy community of New York City. Dr. Norma Goodwin, look her up. She is definitely a history maker. Now, Maya Angelou. Oh my goodness. I mean, there aren't words enough to say about Maya Angelou and the impact that she has made on this planet. Yes. I was first introduced to Maya Angelou as a young teenage girl when I read her autobiographical work, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Oh my goodness. You know, Now, growing up, there weren't a lot of autobiographical books that were read like a good fiction, but told real life stories. And then to go on to be the first Black woman to be the poet laureate at a presidential um, inauguration. Yes. Hey, Clarine. Oh, Clarine. I just have to say, Clarine, I wanted to reach out to you and I said, oh, I can't do it at the last minute, but I want you to stay on tap because you most definitely, I'm here today because of you. Yay, give a shout out to Clarine Mitchell. Um, okay, I digress. But Maya Angelou, for all that she's done through the civil rights movement, all the places she showed up as a strong leading woman. Then there is Oprah Winfrey. What can I say about one of the first Black woman I saw on my local TV channel as a co host to People Are Talking? Her co host was Richard Sher. And this was before Oprah became Oprah, as we all affectionately know her today. And it was like, oh my goodness, as a teenager, watching Oprah on my TV as a college student, and I'd hang out in the student center to catch snippets of her show. And I thought to myself, I said, I'm going to be the next Oprah Winfrey. Yeah. Till the idea got poo pooed on. And I said, okay, well, that's Oprah. And here I am today in a different platform, a different reality, but I'm a show host. And you'll get to experience more of that. Do I have full, yes, I'm nervous about it. I got a little goosebumps as it was getting time to go live. I was like, okay, take some deep breaths. You can do this. Yes, yes. But Oprah, need I say more? Aretha Franklin. Yeah, Aretha Franklin. I grew up with Aretha Franklin on the radio, the albums, the music my mama loved. And then coming of age and doing research and study around Dr. Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement and understanding Aretha Franklin wasn't just an entertainer, she was an advocate. She had a passion to fight for justice and civil rights in our community. Yes. Oh my goodness, I love it. And then I want to lift up Michelle Obama. So, Michelle Obama, the first African American first lady of our nation. And man, did she really take that role to a new level. And how did she take it to a new level? Because she made first lady something that we as women in America could relate to who weren't of a higher economic class. You know, she shopped at J. Crew. She wore sneakers. She showed bare arms outside of a ball gown or something of that nature. She was accessible. She reached people in ways that had not been done before. Thank you, First Lady Michelle Obama, for closing the chasm between the White House, the true people's house, and where we all live in the world, helping us feel a part of your leadership and what you did. And of course, thanks to her husband, but this is Women's History Month. So we're talking about First Lady Michelle Obama. And her book, Becoming, if you haven't read it, please check it out. I just believe on some level, as long as we have breath in our body, we are all becoming. And yes, Clarine, it is never too late to accomplish your dreams and goals. Yes, you helped me to see and realize that. And it doesn't mean you have to have everything you need to make it happen. I'm launching. Do I feel fully equipped and prepared? Yes and no, but I did it anyhow. The next woman I want to lift up today, as I watched her on last night's State of the Union address, is Vice President Kamala Harris. Yeah, we are making strides. You know, I remember when Shirley Chisholm, another first woman, stepped up to the plate and ran for president, the first Black woman to officially run for president at a time when, how dare she do this in a man's world? But she did it to make a mark. And look at where we are with Kamala Harris. Another woman I have to lift up because it just happened last week. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, in the 233 years of the US Supreme Court, this is the first time that an African American woman has been lifted up to be a member of the highest court of this nation. And I just hope that we can rally around and make this happen. You know, as a strength, resilience, and leadership coach, I do a lot of work in the diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and justice arena because we all have a part to play and a contribution to make towards lifting this nation up to recognize the strength in our diversity, to acknowledge that inclusion is really a big deal. It really is. And yes, Shirley Chisholm, that's right, Clarine, unbought and unbossed. It's like Fannie Lou Hamer who said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Oh my goodness, these women just keep showing up. Now, Clarine, I don't know how to bring you up on the platform. I would love to. And maybe we can make that happen. Um, I'll defer to my producer. You see, I jumped out here. I just got it started step by step. And I said, well, I need some help because I couldn't just go here the way I'm accustomed to going. And I don't even know what I have to do. So if I don't get you here after this session, Clarine, I really must have you on as my guest because this would not be possible for me to be here in this space and place without the assistance you provided me, the accountability, the kick in the pan that says, "Girl, get yourself together. Where are you?" And I know, but I'm going to do better. I'm going to make this happen and make it for real because so many women have poured into me that I owe it to give it back. You know, gratitude, attitude, and paying it forward are things that help me to do what I do. I'm grateful for everything, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. You know why? Because they all have the capacity to teach us something about life. I'm grateful for the blessings. Oh my goodness, am I ever? Every day I wake up and open my eyes, I realize I'm blessed to see another day. Gratitude, attitude, is a conscious choice we make. Hmm, maybe sometimes it's unconscious. Hey, Michelle! Oh my goodness, yes! That's right. Michelle, you don't have to have everything figured out. Sometimes it just means you need to jump in. And this is the work I do with leaders I work with. Hey, you know, perfection is an impediment to helping you launch. And what I've learned is that, um, yeah, it really is. Sometimes we have to get out of our own way to make things happen. Uh, and so hard lesson learned. Hard lesson learned. But when I was able to maneuver and sometimes it still, causes me to choke and not do what I know I could do and should do because our inner critics are real. And I think about Julia Pimsleur. She wrote a book called Go Big Now. Yes. And I'm going big now. Yeah. A book that really helped to inspire and give me some insight into ways to just do it. That's right. That's right, Clarine. Progress over perfection. Woohoo! It matters. We got to do this thing. What I know is repetition is the motherhood of all learning. And the more we do a thing, the better we get at it, the more comfortable it becomes, and flexibility. My pastor once shared, "Blessed are they that are flexible, for they shall not break." Sometimes you just got to bob and weave to prevent the naysayers, the inner critics, those within you and those in the world from taking you away from your dreams, your purpose, and the things that matter to you, that you believe are your gifts and graces to share with the world. We all have them. We just have to find them, develop them, and put them to practice. And so I am Dr. Helen Holton, founder and chief engagement officer of Dr. Helen Holton and Associates. So it's not just me, it's a team of people that support the work that gets done through our organization every day. Every day. And it has certainly carved out a path for me. Semper Gumby, Heather Hall. Hey there. Thanks for joining. Maybe I have to look up Semper Gumby. Don't know what it is. Why don't you share a little bit if you can? What Semper Gumby is? I love that. I think of Gumby and I think of a little green, uh, uh, figurine that bendable, could move all sorts of ways, and maybe it has something to do with that. Um, but nonetheless, I am delighted to be here as your host to show up on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. for Dr. Helen Speaks Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. Please tune in, share it, join me live, and let's talk about how to go deep within to bring forth the best of who we are. And we all have a unique purpose, passion, and mission to fulfill in this beautiful thing called life. Yes, ever flexible. That's right, Gumby, ever flexible. I love it. Thank you all for joining today. Look for me. I don't know if I'll be here next week because I'm going to be out of the country. Don't know what kind of signal I'm going to get, but I'm going to do my best to show up and be here for you every Wednesday. It's Dr. Helen Speaks Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. Here live on LinkedIn. Have an incredible, incredible day. Thank you.